Well, today is my lucky day because I'm here with Ego Nwodim, and I'm so excited to be sitting here talking to you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be talking to you.
I have to tell you, I've been watching you on SNL for years, and then recently I saw you in Scrambled and Players back to back. It was like the day after the next, and
Rom-com party. Yeah.
you popped off the screen to me. I mean, you really in both films, I was like, wow, you have such range. I just
You. Thank
love
you. That means so much to me. I had so much fun making both of those films. And also, you know how production works is you'll shoot a film and then a million things happen before you actually get to see it. So they were like it was like a little gift to me to get to see those films too, because I go, oh, we did that so long ago and I remember that and I remember enjoying that. And I've gotten such kind and positive feedback about my part in those movies that I'm really grateful for both of those experiences. So thank you as well.
yeah. Oh, well, I love seeing your range, and it made me think because I've heard you talk about this before, but potentially maybe doing more dramatic roles. Like, what would be your dream role on that
Oh
end of
my
things?
goodness. Okay, well, I keep saying this and I'm putting it out there into the world in case anyone wants to make it happen. But I want to be in a heist film. I love heist movies. They're like that's like my favorite genre. So I would love to be in a heist film. But honestly, I really do enjoy rom-coms myself. I'm a sucker for a rom-com, so I would love to dabble more in that world. And yeah, I would say those two. I mean, I could keep going, but I'm like, let me say, you said dream role. It was singular, so I said two.
Nice film. We're making it happen. We're right. Well, I love about you too is like you could have gone so many different ways. Like you have a degree in biology. I know you grew up as a dancer. I'm curious what that moment was for you, like that aha moment of like, yes, I'm gonna pursue a career in comedy.
You know, it's so fascinating. So I knew I wanted to be an actor. I mean, well, first I knew I wanted to be a performer. I put it that way, where I'm like at a young age, I started doing ballet when I was 7 years old. I did it till I was 17. Um, and I really enjoyed performing. I really enjoyed all the aspects of performing. I didn't know what was actually available to me in terms of a career path. So then to get so granular as to say, like, I want to do comedy specifically, that was beyond me. So just performing, I was like, I want to perform. And then at 17, I was like, I don't want to be a dancer. But around 15, I was like, I want to be an actor. And for me, acting with the limited knowledge I had of it, just though I was a consumer of all things drama, all things comedy, I loved all the things. Grew up watching Martin, loved SNL growing up. I was like, I want to act, and to me, acting meant doing drama for whatever reason in my head. So um it really took some time for me to find my place in comedy, but it's so interesting because once I did find my place in comedy, it was like, this might sound cheesy, but it was like coming home. It was like, ah, yes, this feels comfortable. Or like, you're trying on shoes like Cinderella. And you're like, this one doesn't fit, this one doesn't fit, but this one fits just right. And it feels like the most like home and it feels like me. And so that's sort of what happened with comedy. I've told this story a few times, but I took an improv class begrudgingly. I was advised by many people to take an improv class, that it would be like a great way to hone my skills. But at the time, improv was so popular and everyone was taking improv classes just to take them because it was like a good resume booster to book a commercial. And I didn't want to just do a thing to book a commercial at that point. And I had been diligently pursuing this career and sort of doing whatever people told me to do. And that's when I put my foot down. Started taking an improv class though, begrudgingly, like, fine, I'll do this. So no one has to mention it to me again. And I fell in love, like truly fell in love. I mean, I left my home last night at 10 something PM to go do an improv show at UCB. I really love improv. I took improv to the kids in Baltimore. I want to keep doing that. So it was like improv to me felt like home. And then an extension of that is sketch comedy. So that's sort of how I found my home in this space. But I feel really fortunate to have had the space to figure it out. So
Yeah.
that's what my journey was, a little bit of it was like.
Do you remember the first character that you ever dreamed up in that improv scene?
Oh, gosh, I do not remember the first character, but we used to do this like what I can tell you because I remember this and friends will remind me. Um, we do this warm up where you do like alliteration with your name as a way to remember your teammates' names. So someone might say, like, neat. My teammate actually at the time, my classmate at the time, we were in 101 improv, first day of class, and we do this exercise, and she's like, my name is Neat Noel. And so we go around in a circle and do that with a gesture so that you can remember all, I think it's 15 other people in the class, their names. I went with anal ego, and everyone was like, what? So that's me. That's what I remember is anal ego. I remember anal ego, and that's what I went with. That's what we.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, no problem. Yes, I'm anal, and my name is ego. And like, I didn't want people. I could have gone with an e, like excellent ego, but then I feel like people are like excellent, pronounced ego. So I was trying to make it easy for the people. As an anal ego, and it was an arm, and I did this. I was anal ego.
That's a moment. So on that, I'm curious, and particularly how you do this on SNL. How do you continuously try to push the boundaries with your characters?
Well, what's been really fun these last few years, I've just being a senior on the show now and having been at the show so long and doing, I mean, 6 years on the show and coming up behind Kate, 80, and Cecily, who were remarkable and sort of passed the torch in this really loving way, and now having the space to play as we want to as seniors. I have been like, I want to play more guys, I want to play men. And I think I did. I played for sure a record number of men this year. You know, I way back a few years back, I played one of the members of Bone Thugs and Harmony, which was so fun. I posted that picture, I remember, and people were like, I did not recognize you, and if you hadn't said it was you, like when I was watching the sketch, I did not think it was you, because I really embody, I got male character in here. So that this season, what was really fun is I made it a point to, I was like, you know what would be fun to stretch, I would love to play more men. I do that with my friends on the phone. It's very strange. We'll talk about it another time. But I played more men, and I really just wanted to be silly. So I do some improv podcasts, and I think that something about people not being able to see any of the physicality and see what I look like. I feel like I play so broadly, and my characters are so big. I wanted to bring some of that to SNL this season, and I really think I got to do that. So that feels really, really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, kind of on that same note, I'm curious how, because the show has seen so many different phases, how what the evolution of SNL has felt like to you over the last 6 years, and particularly in this past year.
Yeah, well, the evolution, I mean, we had these anchors on the cast when I arrived. Again, Kate, 80, Cecily, Beck, and Kyle, like these incredible people that I watched as I was sort of coming into my own as a performer and a comedic performer. And I got to see their work from a distance. And so it was really cool to watch them. I mean, our table read is remarkable. There's so much, like, I feel really fortunate because you guys get to see final products, finished sketches, but I get to see like things in workshop, and I get to see things that the audience will never get to see. And I get to do things the audience will never see. And so it feels like such a, I mean, I don't even know how to articulate it. It's just such a special opportunity and feels like a master class, if you will, getting to watch those seniors perform at table read, things people will never see, and getting to see people who are coming in perform and show their skills and show their chops. So that was really cool. And then they sort of passed the torch because all those people left. And they stuck around for some time, which was really lovely. And I really like we got to have our training wheels on for a very long time because they stuck around for longer than I think some of their predecessors had. But it was what now it's like I went from being a student and really watching and learning and getting to shoot a couple times a season to getting to be, I'm the senior now and I get to just shoot more. And so that's the era I find the show in right now for myself personally, but also like this is a completely different cast than it was 3.5, 4 years ago, you know? So it's a completely different cast. The types of sketches we do, our writers are different, and I think that all shows. And it's cool to sort of evolve with the show.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, how much fun to play as an actor and a comedian to have just that constant flow of things going live every week and the really being there for just it was like being the heartbeat of something. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really, really special. You know, there were I have to pinch myself at times to be like, oh my goodness, I saw Eddie Murphy perform at Table Read. I got to see Kristen Wiig perform at Table Read. I got to see Maya Rudolph perform at Table Read. And again, it feels like this little intimate show. It's like SNL's version of Tiny Desk, except for there's no YouTube video that the world gets to see. It's like whoever's in the office today gets to witness this performance. And some really funny things, again, that the audience doesn't get to see, but we do happen at that table read. So it's just so cool to have that inside scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite moment of when either someone made you break character or you made someone break character?
Yes. Okay. So, I mean, I, okay. So I'm thinking about so many. There's a sketch early on. I was just thinking about this a few weeks ago where Cecily was with Chance the Rapper and they were on these harnesses in the air. I don't even remember what the premise of the sketch was, but there was a technical difficulty either at dress rehearsal or air. I think it's at air. And Heidi and I could not keep it together, just like trying to say our line and get through that was so fun because it was like this was sort of out of their hands and it's like this is going awry if if it ever could. But we're laughing and we're having fun and I know that's fun for the audience to see. This past season at dress rehearsal, Josh Brolin really made me laugh in a way that I could not get it together to deliver my line when he was doing the she it was he was at a party and the kitten Andrew Dismukes was performing with him and it's like this my cat really likes you and then he's getting offended because it seems the cat likes someone else and it was like it's called wine and cheese night. I know because I love that sketch and Josh was so remarkably insane at dress rehearsal. I loved it. He sort of apologized to me after because he goes, you couldn't get your line out because I was messing up and I was like, you weren't messing up, you were being so funny. I couldn't get my line out. And when you're going to break and you're like, I don't want to break, but I feel a laugh coming on. And the laugh is like, I'm gonna win. The laugh is like, you have to release me, and then you can say your line. And try as you might. That was really fun. And then of course Lisa from Temecula, especially that very first time getting to see Pedro and Bowen break. Even Devin, who was the waiter, come out, really try to hold it together. Devin did a good job holding it together. Pedro and Bowen lost it. That was fun.
Is that the character that you get approached with the most?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. People really love, and some of people are like the one with the steak and you're cutting, and I'm like Lisa from Temecula, and you're sort of like, why is her name so specific? She's the steak lady, but who likes her steak really well done. So that's the one I would say people recognize the most. Yeah.
Well, good. You literally have me tearing up just thinking about it.
That's an honor. That is such an honor. That makes me so happy.
Awesome. I do want to get into some of the other stuff you have going on. Mr. Throwback is coming up. What can
Yeah.
you tell us about that?
Okay, so that is going to be premiering on Peacock in August. It's with Adam Pally and Steph Curry. Steph Curry is acting as himself. I play his handler, Kimberly, and it's like mockumentary style. It's really, really fun. It's really funny. It's been such a joy to shoot. We're gonna wrap up shooting soon, so this train is moving fast. But I'm having a blast performing with them, and I think people are really going to like it. I hope people really like it. But either way, we're having so much fun, and that's a big part of the battle. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good one.
I'm so excited about that. And I know you have a little bit of history with a brief basketball career there.
Yeah, I know someone yesterday to me in a meeting goes, and I know you played basketball, and I was like, I want to stop you there. Sure. Can I say I played basketball? I don't know that one can say I played basketball. I have touched a basketball, I have been in a uniform, but I don't know that I was playing basketball. I feel like I was avoiding basketball. Like, yeah, I'm not good at it, despite I'm tall, I'm black, People think, okay, she's going to be good at basketball. That's not my forte. I genuinely don't. I'm learning right now in real time, especially. And I'm like, Steph and I are going to be completing some of our stuff next week. And I'm like, can you teach me? Teach me. So if I get to learn about basketball from Steph Curry, that'll be cool. But I'm actually not good at basketball. I just want to say for the record,
That's
bad
like
at basketball.
it's the full circle moment. It was the part that you were meant to play. Um, just the last question. Like I said from the beginning, I love you. Everyone loves you. You're at such a cool moment in your career. What goes through your mind when you look back on your journey and reflect on where you are today?
Wow. One, how time flies. The first thing is just how time flies. Like, and I'm really grateful. Like a number of things come to mind. I'm really grateful to have some semblance of these last 6 years of my life documented somewhere, where I can sort of witness my own growth and coming into my own as a performer at Saturday Night Live. Um, and I think, when I reflect, I go, I think I'm going to have to not be on the show to have some of these things really hit me, to get to say, like, I performed with Dionne Warwick. I performed with Dionne Warwick. And it was surreal. And I've described it as such, but I'm like, I don't think that has really penetrated my psyche yet until I'm no longer there. And I'm just really looking back at my time at the show. There are just these moments that I've had that are so remarkable. And I feel exceptionally grateful for. I feel so grateful that people have taken notice and enjoyed my work, and that someone like you loves me is so, man, I'm so grateful and remarkably blessed to get to do what I do for work, and to get to do what I love, and to entertain and spread joy, I should say. Yeah, it's going to be this thing I reflect on years from now, I think, and really go, whoa, that was my life. And I got to do that, and I got to be a part of that. But I'm, for now, so supremely grateful to be here, and happy to know that in my time here, people have enjoyed what I've brought to the show.
Mm. Well, and so talented. Let's not forget that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so much for hanging out with us at Awards Buzz today. It's been such a pleasure.
So wonderful hanging with you. Thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. Anytime.